Hi, everyone. My name is Michelle Lee. I am a news anchor and I am the author of A Very Asian Guide to Korean Food.
And I'm Sonu Rebecca Choi, illustrator of this book.
Today, we'll be talking about Korean culture and food. So grab some art supplies and get ready for a hands on learning session. Okay, so Korean food is a type of Asian cuisine that is very bold. It's got a variety of flavors. Some people say it's a little spicy, but honestly, I just think it's so delicious. Some of our traditional foods include fermented kimchi and something called bibimbap. Bibimbap is a lot of fun to say, but fermented kimchi is kind of like spicy cabbage or spicy pickles. And then also, bibimbap is just a really nice bowl of rice and some mixed vegetables. It is so good. There are a lot of contemporary street foods as well, like Korean corn dogs. They are so yummy and they can be made with cheese or maybe fish or sometimes meat. Korean fried chicken is known as KFC, but it's different than the kind of KFC that you might find here in the United States. But it started and it really became a global sensation. It's so delicious. It's double fried chicken. So that is what makes it really good. And it can be eaten plain or it can be covered in sauces or even salt and pepper. And Korean cuisine has really grown in popularity thanks to things like K-pop and music and K-dramas, television. So many Korean cultural things now that have made it so popular all around the world. This story was inspired by my family and also my love for Korean culture and Korean food. I was actually adopted as a baby and I grew up in rural Missouri. So I grew up as a country kid in the middle of Missouri and really started becoming immersed in Korean culture when I was a little kid. Started going to Korean heritage camps and then went to Korean heritage camps as a teenager, and it was all for people who were adopted like me. And that was actually in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And it was filled with a ton of cultural events. I learned a lot about food and language and art. It was so amazing. But growing up in a rural town, for a long time, I kind of felt like I was the only kid like me. And I know a lot of kids kind of feel like maybe they're the first or the only. And so being Asian and being adopted at the same time, I still was also considered an immigrant. I became a naturalized citizen. I had so many different things going on. And so attending the Korean heritage camps, meeting other adoptees really gave me a lot of confidence. And it was so much fun learning Korean culture together. So I love that part of my childhood. The one thing that I would say is that, traveling around the world takes a lot of energy and effort and money, and we can't all do it. But the great thing is that we all have a chance to experience it through our food. And that is something that's very exciting about Korean culture and Korean food for me. So I would say that this book is really a traveler's guide for anyone who's interested in Korean culture or Korean food. And this book describes so many dishes that are very bold, very tangy, so vibrant in color, and something that we can all share together as a meal. And also because of the contemporariness of it, we can talk about street foods, we can talk about Korean American foods as well. So whether you're talking about those Korean corn dogs or maybe, something like Korean tacos, it's a lot of fun to learn about not only Korean food, but how it's served and eaten and celebrated in America. When you look at the book, you're actually going to see a lot of different people from many cultures and backgrounds sharing a meal. And that was intentional because really enjoying a Korean meal is so special. We can share so many emotions together, happiness, we can share an adventure together or comfort. And that is really a big part of the Korean tradition. So these are like little banchans, and this is what everyone does. You get like a bunch in a table. It comes with every Korean meal. So it's always about sharing when you are eating a Korean dish. And so whether you're doing something traditional and you're making dumplings, or maybe you're having a celebration, there is one noodle dish, japchae, that everyone eats together at every meal. So I love this because this is like a celebratory noodle. And so I just love the fact that we can all get together, share a meal, share happiness, share joy, share what makes us different, but also something that brings us together. And I want you to know that I also shared one of my favorite recipes. It's called mandu, which is basically a dumpling. So it's always a favorite in our house. And this is something that I make quite a bit, actually. And it's very easy to make. So I hope that you will try my mandu recipe as well. And mandu is considered a staple in Korean food, and it's really considered to bring fortune, wellness, and health.
Michelle, hearing about all those delicious dishes is making me feel very hungry. While food is certainly a great way to enjoy a variety of cultures, I also love to explore cultures through art. I'll show viewers how to illustrate one of my favorite Korean dishes, bibimbap. Grab your art materials and let's create. The first thing you will need to do is make your ingredients. In my bibimbap, I'll be drawing vegetables like spinach, carrot, or mushroom. But you can draw whatever veggies you like. So let your imagination run wild. To begin, use Crayola paints and watercolors to create your base colors. Do this using a brush to create large patches on the paper. Once the paint has dried, your paper should look something like this. Now it's time to use your Crayola crayons and colored pencil to add textures. Scribble all over your dried paint patches with different tones and shades of the same colors. You can't make bibimbap without a bowl. On a separate sheet of paper, draw a circular bowl shape and give it a thin rim to add depth. That's your bowl sorted. So now it's time to cut up your ingredients. Be sure to ask an adult if you need help doing this. Carefully cut your dried colored patches into different random round shapes. Then place the pieces into your bowl like this. Once you're happy with the positioning of your vegetables, it's time to stick them down using your Crayola glue. Again, if you need help doing this, just ask an adult. No bibimbap would be complete without a fried egg, my favorite part. To make the egg, you will need to cut out a fried egg shape on white paper and then a smaller yellow circle for the yolk. Glue the two parts of the egg together and then glue that onto the bowl. This is the last part. Using your Crayola markers, add details to your vegetables to make your collage of color look even more like the real dish. And there we go, a bibimbap, so delicious. I think I'm going to go and make the real thing. Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed listening to and seeing our thoughts about Korean food and culture.
Share your passion for your culture with others through language, food, or arts. It's really going to help people appreciate not only what we have in common, but what makes people unique.
Goodbye!